Welcome to the 2025 Junior Achievement 18 Under 18 Awards. We have been running this award program for several years, and each year the students just blow us away with their drive, their ambition, their desire to make a difference. We meet so many wonderful students through the work that we do, but these 18 have truly risen above the rest and have stood out as exceptional among their peers. As we know, creating positive change in the world isn't always easy. But the 2025 JA 18 Under 18 recipients have proven that they're more than capable of making that happen. Despite their age, they've already overcome obstacles to reach their goals, to help others, and to make an impact in Arizona and beyond. These students are role models. They're leaders, they're innovators in our community. From starting nonprofits to publishing books, it's truly inspiring to see what these young adults have already achieved. And this is just the beginning for them. These incredible students motivate me, and they motivate everyone at Junior Achievement to continue the work that we're doing towards our mission. And our mission at Junior Achievement is preparing young people to succeed and work in life. Tonight, you all get to be inspired by these students and everything that they've accomplished. Before we meet these students, I want to thank our generous sponsors who have made this evening possible and who have provided some exciting prizes for our recipients. Their support means so much. And I really want to congratulate all of these recipients because the number of incredible nominations we get, it is very, very difficult for us to get to the top 36. And then when we get to the top 36, we interview every one of these, and it is just grueling. I am telling you, the top 18 they just blow us away. They're so amazing. To present each of our honorees tonight, I would like to welcome JA board member, volunteer, and tonight's MC, Autumn Stewart, to the stage. You can come up here while I talk about you. Autumn began her career in the financial services industry as a high net worth client service representative with a background in psychology, an MBA from the W.P. Carey School of Business, and a passion for helping others succeed. She quickly rose through the ranks, eventually becoming an investments wholesaler, supporting financial advisors across the country. Then, in 2022, she took a leap into entrepreneurship. She founded Earhart.ai, an AI-powered platform which is dedicated to supporting individuals who are experiencing disordered eating. While leading as the co-founder and the COO, she also gave back to the community. Doesn't she sound like a lot of our students? She is tutoring and teaching K-12 students throughout Phoenix. Today, she's back in the financial services industry, serving institutional clients and helping them achieve their goals. She's deeply committed to empowering our people and organizations to reach their full potential. And she brings that same energy and enthusiasm to everything she does. Thank you for being here today, Autumn. And I want to welcome you and thank you for everything that you're doing.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Catherine. I am so incredibly excited to be here this evening to present this inspiring group of young individuals who have done more in their lives than most adults, including myself. We are so proud of what they have accomplished, but even more so of who they are as people. It is through their compassion, creativity, intellect, and desire to make the world a better place that they have gotten this far. And we can't wait to see how far they will go. Now, let's meet Junior Achievement's 2025 18 Under 18 Award recipients. Our first recipient this evening is Miriam Al-Kalderi. Miriam has aspirations to be an oncologist. She worked as an intern at TGen, studying and conducting research on brain tumors in pediatric patients and volunteering at the Mayo Clinic Hospital. She's also been involved with the Leukemia and Lymphoma Society for several years. During the 2020 24 campaign, she led a team of 20 students and raised more than $109,000 in just 7 weeks. Miriam is also the president of the National Honor Society and led a school-wide canned food drive that resulted in over 690,000 cans collected in 4 weeks. As a varsity speech and debate competitor, this year, Miriam became the state champion in original oratory. She will be a pre-med student at Harvard University in the fall of 2025. She looks forward to using her passion to serve and help others through her career as a doctor. Miriam, over the last several years, you've invested hundreds of volunteer hours in our community. What was one of the most enriching experiences you've had volunteering?
Thank you very much. Every moment I've spent volunteering, whether at Mayo Clinic, Dignity Health, LLS, and even as president of NHS, has been incredibly impactful. But if I had to choose one moment, it would have to be my time as a team leader in the Leukemia and Lymphoma Society. My job was to lead a team of passionate students during a 7-week fundraiser. We sent hundreds of emails, made countless of phone calls, wrote heartfelt letters, and even went out into the community to advocate for cancer patients and make sure that their voices are being heard. By the end of the campaign, we raised $109,000. But to me, this number meant more than just a number. It showed me what dedication, what compassion, what generosity, and what belief in a cause can accomplish. LLS showed me the power of service, that behind each protocol in the lab, each time volunteering in the hospital, and each time sending a fundraising email is the need of the patient. It showed me that a doctor is not only a job that treats a disease, but a profession that heals people. I look forward to keeping my passion of service as I volunteer, be a student, and in my future as a doctor. Thank you.
Thank you, Miriam. We appreciate everything that you have done for the community and that you'll continue to do. Next, let's please welcome Nisar Bahodi. Nisar Bahodi believes in the power of giving back and connecting with others in his community. He's founded several nonprofits and student organizations, including STEAM Through Leadership, the West Point Surprise Squad, and Neuro Advocacy, a passion project meant to both advocate for and empower those living with intellectual disabilities. These initiatives have impacted thousands of lives and raised tens of thousands of dollars for the community. Nisar plans to pursue higher education and major in neuroscience. Nisar, of the many projects and organizations you are passionate about, which one do you believe has had the biggest impact on your life and your future plans?
Well, it's difficult to say any specific project or organization that I've been part of has impacted me the most. I would probably honestly chalk it up to my previous research on metacognition, which is the idea or the concept of thinking about your learning and kind of changing it as you go on. This idea has impacted me in my personal life. It's changed how I study. It's helped improve a lot of how I learn and also my academic record, as well as some of my peers. And it's also allowed me to get more involved in my community. It's an idea that I really hope to present to in the future to other school districts and really begin to implement more metacognitive aware learning that can honestly promote a more equitable future for all children, giving them more opportunities within education, whether that's in STEM or in any other field. And it's something that's impacted me a lot in my personal life. It's something that I hope to continue pursuing and continue to research about. But honestly, just the findings from a 1-year research projects have really shown me what dedication, those hours spent, those sleepless nights studying, getting prepared for science conferences, for presentations, what they could do, not only for me, but also how I could use what I've learned to impact others around me and my community, and hopefully promoting a more equitable education for all for the future. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Nisar. We appreciate your inspiring insights. Next, please welcome Sarah Bindock. Sarah Bindock's summer in Lebanon, working alongside farmers in her grandmother's village, exposed her to the harsh realities of agriculture. Seeing the extreme heat and scarce resources that make farming a daily struggle, planted a seed that grew into a passion for agrivoltaics, which involves integrating solar panels into agriculture. How neat. Sarah saw similar struggles while volunteering with community gardens and food deserts around the valley. Determined to make a difference, she founded the nonprofit Growing Green and helped bring the first grid-connected agrivoltaic system to Phoenix. Her work is supported by a USDA collaboration to collect crop data, and so far, the data shows that we have increased crop yields. These systems also provide farmers with shade and serve as a reliable source of clean energy. The organization then donates the produce to food banks, farmers markets, and school cafeterias in underserved communities. Sarah is now using her experience and knowledge to educate other students on agrivoltaics and climate issues. She's reaching students across 17 schools, thanks to collaborations with ASU and U of A, and she's presented her work at national conferences. Sarah is also involved with the Governor's Youth Commission, her school's robotics team, and the Environmental Club. She hopes to study chemical engineering and business with a focus on developing solutions to combat climate change. Sarah, what are the long-term implications of Growing Green on Arizona's agriculture industry, and what role do you hope to continue to play?
Thank you. So, by bringing agrivoltaics, as you mentioned, which is the placement of solar panels to community gardens and farms, especially in areas facing high levels of pollution and food insecurity, Growing Green has been able to implement a model that currently and in the long run will help farms and farmers reduce their water usage, boost crop yields, cut energy costs, all while decreasing carbon emissions. What's been most exciting as well has been our ability to teach students, volunteers, and farmers about the science behind agrivoltaics. And this is because when people truly understand what agrivoltaics is, how it works, and why it matters, they become part of the movement, which is extremely important in the widespread adoption of agrivoltaics, which is something I hope happens in the future. So looking forward to help agrivoltaics become more easily implemented, I'm currently developing a toolkit that will make it easier for farms and schools and community gardens nationwide to adopt agrivoltaics confidently. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Sarah. You've already made an incredible contribution to the community, and we can't wait to see what you'll do next. Next up, we have Owen Bro-Sanders. Owen strives to create systemic change by reducing his community's environmental footprint. He is a co-lead of the Arizona Youth Climate Coalition and recently co-developed the Tucson Unified School District's Climate Action Resolution. It recently passed by a 4-to-1 vote, and now the district is working on implementing changes. Owen is the only student serving on TUSD's Bond Oversight Committee, and he helps determine the allocation of $480 million from an infrastructure bond. He likes having a voice and encourages other students to get active in their community. Owen plans to pursue a degree in political science and always will continue advocating for change. Owen, how have you been able to use your voice to make meaningful change?
Yeah, so I feel like my goal in using my voice is to allow people that feel like they don't have one to use their own. Throughout my career working in using my voice and activism, I've tried to pick people that I know have a voice, have a story, and that they need to use it, and I've tried to elevate that. Through my role on the Bond Oversight Committee, like we mentioned earlier, overseeing that $480 million bond, I picked students and I've listened to their stories and I've brought them to the highest levels of government where they didn't know their stories could take them. So that's my goal, is to use my voice to uplift others.
Owen, thank you so much. I'm sure we all can learn something from your story. Now, please welcome Pamela Carbajal. Pamela is a dynamic and compassionate leader who demonstrates leadership skills through her involvement at school, in the community, and her church. She's in the AFJROTC program, where she serves as a cadet lieutenant colonel and leads a unit of 131 cadets. She organizes and manages the unit's activities, such as the Thanksgiving food drive or holiday toy drive for families in need. She's also in a leadership role with the AFJROTC Honor Society, MESA, Mathematics, Engineering, and Science Achievement, and her church youth group. Additionally, she's proud of her heritage and enjoys performing with the Mariachi Apache, using music as a tool to give back to her community. Her service also extends to athletics, where she's a varsity volleyball player. She is deeply committed to making her community a better place and leads efforts that promote positive change. Pamela is planning to major in architecture. Pamela, what has been the most transformative part of your AFJROTC role?
Thank you. I have taken various roles throughout my journey at ROTC. However, the most transformative to myself has been the first role that I received as flight sergeant. A flight is essentially a group of cadets, a class, and that year I had the opportunity to lead 28 cadets in that flight. As a freshman, this was very surprising to me, as it was a role that I took the first 2 months of my freshman year. It allowed me to step out of that comfort zone that I was so used to. It allowed me to work as a leader and see how to engage with other people of other ages, of other mindsets, to be able to find ways to empathize with them and grow as a leader. It helped me and developed my leadership skills and communication skills with them. And it led me to other positions later on as the Honor Society commander and now the unit commander. And that has been my most transformative role. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Pamela. You are a true role model for future generations. Our next honoree this evening is Allegra Davis. Allegra is inspiring and empowering young people to take action and connect with others who may be outside of their bubble. She's been instrumental in bringing the Human Library organization to Chaparral High School, the first high school in the country to host these types of events. The Denmark-based program invites people from the community to share their unique stories as human books. Those in attendance, the readers, then ask questions and cultivate genuine connections with people from all walks of life. The events serve as a reminder to not judge a book by its cover and to listen before drawing conclusions. Allegra is also a junior class president, a member of the Scottsdale Mayor's Youth Council and Swift Youth Organization, and the World Tennis Federation ranks her in the top 70 players for 16-year-olds in Central Arizona. She plans to attend college and bring the Human Library with her wherever she goes. Allegra, your efforts in launching the Human Library and its social impact are quite compelling. What was the genesis of this concept?
Well, first of all, I just wanted to say thank you so much for this opportunity. I am truly honored and humbled to be here, and congratulations to all the other winners as well. The genesis of the Human Library really came from the fact that one of the main problems I see in our society today is that people are becoming more closed-minded and judgmental to those who are outside of their bubble, and this can create fear and hatred towards those who are different. So I helped bring the Human Library to our campus to help people learn to not prejudge others and instead use compassion and empathy to invite change. The Human Library is this Denmark-based organization which their motto is to unjudge someone. They have been successfully tackling stigma and stereotypes in over 80 countries by using human books to tell their stories, and people can come and ask questions. Just like checking a book out of a library, but the person can actually meet the author. It has been truly amazing to see how many people have been impacted by the Human Library from just sitting down and talking to each other and making real personal connections. And of course, you are all invited to the Human Library event next year at Chaparral next fall. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Allegra. I definitely want to experience a Human Library someday. Next, let's please welcome Ashton Dolce. Ashton has been recognized for a strong entrepreneurial spirit and work on climate change action locally, nationally, and internationally. In the summer of 2023, he founded Sunrise Movement Phoenix, a leading youth climate justice group in Phoenix 2 years ago. Sorry about that. A leading youth climate justice group in Phoenix. 2 years ago, Ashton launched an advocacy campaign focused on extreme heat. Hosting over 80 community events, Ashton and his team have collected over 3,000 petition signatures and lobbied 23 elected officials to support extreme heat action, changing the conversation around FEMA's response to extreme heat. He's also a founding member of his school's National Art Honor Society, where he has turned the white walls into beautiful murals. Additionally, he serves as one of the 15 members of FEMA's National Youth Preparedness Council. Ashton plans to attend law school, believing work in advocacy now will prepare him for a future career in public policy. He is an innovator with experience leading campaigns that led to tangible governmental change. Ashton, what does it mean to you to be influencing climate action from a young age, and what are some of the effects you are already seeing?
Yeah, so I think when we think about problems relating to climate change, okay, sorry. Oftentimes when we think of problems relating to climate change, we think about weather events and different weather-related disasters, but oftentimes the most clear example of climate change in our communities are oftentimes the most simple ones that affect our everyday lives. For example, the schools we go to, roads we drive on, the public transit we have access to. These are critical issues that relate to climate change. So climate change is not necessarily just a faraway threat, but oftentimes impacting the most important solutions and problems in our lives. As a young person, oftentimes it's been difficult navigating getting action done on climate change. Oftentimes you have to work 10 times harder to even get a meeting with an elected official. Oftentimes you're seen as disposable or not necessarily informative or informational on the topic. But in reality, because young people are the closest to the problem, we're actually the best change makers and best problem solvers for it. Now, even though I may believe that, still most people don't. So oftentimes it's very difficult to get action done on public policy surrounding climate change. Most recently, as mentioned on the FEMA Youth Preparedness Council, we've actually seen the Preparedness Council been shut down because we no longer see action on climate change in FEMA. So more relating to that, I've tried to take a different approach working here locally and getting action done on a local level instead of a federal level. So oftentimes as a young person, it's about knowing where to work and knowing how to get around the difficulties that oftentimes exist for most young people when it relates to public policy and more broadly, climate change in general. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Ashton. As we approach another Phoenix summer, we all appreciate the good work that you're doing. Now, let's welcome Archana Garudu. Archana believes that the arts have the power to promote self-esteem and self-efficacy while allowing young people to express themselves without constraints. As a teaching assistant at the Scottsdale Artists School Youth Academy, she saw the need to make arts education more accessible. Archana began selling her own original paintings, along with greeting cards of her artwork at the Art One Gallery. All of the proceeds benefit local nonprofits, including Free Arts for Abused Children of Arizona. And so far, she's helped raise more than $4,500. Archana is also interested in using computer science and mathematics to improve patient outcomes in healthcare. She hopes to pursue a career in research and clinical AI, with a particular interest in informatics. Archana, in addition to being an artist and philanthropist, you are also seeing firsthand the importance of art education. Can you tell us about one key learning you've had from those experiences that you'll take into your professional career?
Absolutely. So first of all, I'd like to thank Junior Achievement for this honor and for the opportunity to meet such incredible young people. To answer your question, a key takeaway that has been particularly impactful for me is recognizing that creative pursuits allow us to bridge the left and right sides of our brains, giving us the freedom to express ourselves while also building technical skill. in creative education. That is particularly why arts education is so effective at fostering critical thinking and also even healing past trauma, which is something I've recognized through my work at the Scottsdale Artist School, the Art One Gallery, and Free Arts for Abused Children of Arizona. In the future, much like other young artists, I hope to carry that ability to combine creativity with purpose, not only in my art, but also through other aspects of my life. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Archita, for sharing your inspiring story. We wish you the best in your journey. Now, please help me welcome our next honoree, Harper Helfman. Harper is a firm believer that if you have talent, you should use it to help others. She thrives in mathematics and harnesses that knowledge to create engaging and accessible lessons that simplify challenging math concepts. Her curriculum helps adult real estate students learn the skills and confidence they need to pass their exams. Perhaps her biggest and most personal passion, however, is her ongoing effort to raise awareness about heart health. Her father had a run-in with heart disease, and at Harper's urging, sought medical attention. Turned out, his widowmaker artery was 99% blocked. Thankfully, he had surgery and recovered, but Harper is using that experience to raise awareness and save lives. She visits senior centers and classrooms and even gave a presentation on a cruise ship while her family was on vacation. Harper plans to major in biomedical engineering and dreams of becoming a surgeon. Harper, what advice would you give to teens who want to make a positive change in their own talents and passions but aren't sure where to start?
Yeah, that's a great question. Thank you so much. So similar to how when you're on an airplane, they tell you to first put on your own oxygen mask before helping others, that could equate to this question a little bit because it's important to know what your talents and passions do for you first before allowing them to apply to others. So let's say you think that your talents and passions, they give you confidence or they make you feel joy or maybe they allow you to express yourself artistically. Then once you identify that, you can apply it to other people. So let's say you like art. Then you could paint murals or make brochures to advocate for something that's important to you. If you like sports, then there are plenty of like-minded people for you to find, and then it's important that you then teach other people to love the sports that you love and allow them to share in that joy. So maybe that's in the form of a sports equipment drive, or maybe you teach underprivileged children the games you love so much. Another approach could be to look around your community, find an issue or a misconception that you're passionate about, and work to right that wrong or bring change and advocate for what you think it should be perceived as. It's also important to remember that you don't have to reinvent the wheel. You can start by just fixing the wheel. So take your passions and talents and apply them in order to improve a current system. And take your time, be patient, and change will happen. Thank you.
Thank you, Harper. You serve as an inspiration to many young leaders. Okay, we have just met half of the incredible honorees tonight, and I'm sure you're impressed as I am with them all. The 2025 group of JA's 18 under 18 honorees are truly the best of the best. And to add to the recognition they are receiving tonight, I would also like to announce that each student is receiving a certificate of excellence from the Secretary of State, Adrian Fontes, as well as the Congressional Certificate of Recognition from Congressman Greg Stanton. This is a true testament to the statewide impact and influence of these students and their incredible work. Now, let's meet the rest of them. Please, let's welcome Karina Kopikar. Karina is passionate about working with students of all backgrounds, whether teaching families in need about proper nutrition through her nonprofit, My Tasty Table, virtually tutoring Ukrainian refugees, or working to improve mental health through books. As a loving library ambassador, Karina believes in the healing power of empathy and community. She is also a published novelist. Her book, 6-Point Star, aims to show that religions are more similar than they are different. Karina dreams of attending law school to ultimately help her reform the foster care system. Karina, with your experience with running a nonprofit, as a tutor, and as a published author, what's one skill you think that has been most important for your success?
Thank you. Well, I'd first like to say I'm so grateful to Junior Achievement for this incredible opportunity. It is such an honor to be here. And in regards to the question, developing my skill for advocacy has been instrumental in my work. I'm very privileged to work with students of extremely diverse backgrounds. So through serving as a community mentor for foster children, children in the hospital, children in the unhoused community, and refugee students, I've become a very strong advocate for literacy because reading and writing are such unifying aspects of life. If I had one message for my students, it would be this: your background and your circumstances never make you any less worthy of sharing your story. I encourage my students to advocate for themselves through pen and paper, and I've since learned to use my own platform to advocate for what I believe in, that literacy is such a powerful tool for enacting social change. And once we collectively realize that, there's no limit to the impact we can create. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Karina. We appreciate the impact you've made in our community. Next, let's welcome Lisbeth Ortiz. As a freshman, Lisbeth took a trip with the Congressional Hispanic Caucus Institute to Washington, D.C., and spoke with senators and legislators. She felt like many people aren't aware of the laws they are voting for or against, and she wanted to do something to provide more education, especially to Latino voters. That is why Lisbeth created the Civic Engagement Guide, a resource to empower youth from underprivileged backgrounds by connecting them to leadership and civic opportunities. The guide is provided through a youth-led organization called Civil Activists and is now available throughout the United States and Mexico and will be offered in Guatemala this fall. Civic Activists is an organization that hopes to bridge the civic literacy gap across the world. Lisbeth performed research on political polarization and the barriers to civic engagement in rural Latino communities with state legislators that helped influence the information that goes in the guide. Lisbeth also involved in the FBLA as a 2-time state officer and is the first national officer from her school, where she serves as a region vice president, serving over 200,000 members. She was recently named as a 2025 Coca-Cola Scholar, one of the only 150 recipients nationwide chose from a pool of over 105,000 applicants. She plans to study public policy and pursue a law degree. Lisbeth, since creating the Civic Engagement Guide, what have you identified as the most important civics issue facing your community?
Thank you. After creating the Civic Engagement Guide, I quickly realized that the biggest issue isn't just awareness, it's access. Community members often don't know where or how to get involved because the tools aren't made for them. That's why I focused on meeting them where they are, whether at schools, community events, and even traveling to other countries to provide resources in English and Spanish. Civic engagement shouldn't be a privilege. It should be a right that feels reachable. And that's what I strive to fight for every single day, through research, and especially through my youth-led organization, Civic Activists. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Lisbeth. We can't wait to see what you'll do in the future. Our next honoree is Nitish Prakash. Nitish became very interested in humanitarian work after attending the Global Health Leaders Conference at Johns Hopkins University. So much so, he used his experience working in a lab at ASU to transform his own bathroom into a lab, designed to conduct experiments and to develop a novel device that helps detect viruses. His model can detect viruses within an hour, and he has dreams of taking this product to low-resource areas and hospitals to help support diagnosis and research and treatment. He's also a co-chair of the fundraising group Students Supporting Brain Tumor Research, is an academic All-American Superior Distinction in Speech and Debate, and ultimately brought his skills to the village of India, where he was born, to help 80 children learn public speaking. Nitish is passionate about bringing services to marginalized communities and wants to be a doctor who not only heals people physically, but also connects patients on an emotional and psychological level. Nitish, how has your research in virus detection shaped your goals for the future?
For sure. First of all, I'd like to quickly thank Junior Achievement for this incredible opportunity. It's a very good honor to be alongside these amazing young students, and I'm very grateful to be here. So to answer your question, I think that during COVID-19, it's very safe to say that we all had some sort of negative experience, whether it was online school, the loss of a family member, or even just general isolation from society itself. So that's really what got me into viral detection, because I think we realized how consequential pandemics are to the world in general. So that's why I think that in the world and in terms of shaping my goals, I really turned towards a broad scale perspective on how we can address problems by focusing on systemic issues that cause them in the first place. And that's why I think that in my future work, I really hope to employ sort of a perspective that embodies humanitarianism and a global health standard that allows us to fix problems on a global scale, because I think that is just as crucial as acute patient care. I think solving those problems in the background through research and advocacy is just as important as the interactions you have with these patients right in front of you. So I think that this type of perspective, from the Global Health Leaders Conference and this research, that's something that I hope to take forward into my profession and my career, and I think my work in viral detection really helped grow that. So I'm really thankful for those experiences, and I look forward to employing them in my future career. Thank you.
Thank you, Nitish. The world is truly a better place because you are in it. Next up, we have Jonathan Arnolfo Mendoza Denise. Jonathan is a co-founder of Skills USA Engineering, a club focused on robotics and 3D technology. His team took first place in the Phoenix Union High School District's robotics competition and ranked third at the Arizona Diamondbacks and Honeywell Future Shaper Robotics competition. Jonathan is active in JROTC and has honed in on his leadership in a Summer Cadet Leadership Challenge. He has also participated in the ASU Youth Leadership Association, contributing to the creation and unveiling of 2 community murals in Maryville. He maintains a 4.4 GPA and is a member of the National Honor Society. Jonathan aspires to pursue a degree in mechanical engineering. Jonathan, with your experience as a leader in multiple ways, what advice would you give to other students who struggle to find their voice?
My main advice I would give to those who can't find their voice would be to mainly focus on what you love. Find it, gain your skills and knowledge in that subject, and then with this newfound knowledge and skills, and therefore confidence, advocate for yourself and go into some sort of position where you have an increased amount of responsibility and influence over others so that you can overcome maybe an insecurity or overcome not being able to have your own voice. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Jonathan. With your experience as thank you so much, Jonathan. A true example of what it means to be a young leader. Our next honoree is Rishabh Sripathi. When Rishabh sees an opportunity to solve a problem or to help others, he takes it. He realized mucormycosis. Say that right?
Yeah, you said it right. Okay.
A prominent fungal infection was becoming more prominent after COVID-19 and rapidly spreading. In fact, it's 80 times more prevalent in developing countries. Rishabh felt that current detection methods were too slow, required too much blood, and weren't accurate enough. So he developed FungiBug, a rapid handheld blood diagnostic device to help alleviate these challenges and make testing more accessible to those living in underserved areas. His device won 4th place at the International Science and Engineering Fair and received the Governor's Future Innovator of the Year Award, presented by the Arizona Technology Council. Additionally, he founded a nonprofit called Learning Minds that enriches STEM education and increases exposure to STEM fields such as research for students with socioeconomic disadvantages, communication disabilities, autism spectrum disorder, and cognitive, speech, and developmental delays. Rishabh plans to go to medical school and be a doctor one day. Rishabh, from your FungiBug device to your nonprofit Learning Minds, you have already made incredible contributions to health and science. What discovery has been the most surprising so far?
Yeah, so I just want to start off by saying thank you so much to Junior Achievement for this award. It's really, truly an amazing honor. And now on to the question. So right now, if a patient with fungal infection goes into the doctor's office, we use something called CFU culture counting. And with this takes 24 to 72 hours for incubation, for test results to come back, and secondly, requires 10 to 20 milliliters of blood being drawn from a patient, which causes 99% hospital-acquired anemia in infants and 70% hospital-acquired anemia in adults, and still yields 33% false positive results even after all this time and after all this blood is being drawn. So what is really important is that we need rapid and accurate detection for these specific infections. So with that, I created Fungi Bug, a rapid handheld blood diagnostic device that we can deploy in underserved areas because, one, it yields less than 10% false positives, takes less than 10 minutes, and also only requires 0.9 milliliters of blood. So with these parameters, we are able to provide rapid and accurate detection while also providing providing healthcare for these underserved populations.
Thank you so much, Rashab. Your story is an inspiration to us all. Next, please welcome Gauri Srivastav. Gauri is passionate about removing barriers in healthcare and expanding opportunities for students interested in medicine and science. She founded MedAspire, a club that provides students with medical-related volunteer experiences, exposure to healthcare campaigns, and educational sessions on various healthcare fields and research projects. What started as an effort to fill a gap at her school has now grown into one of the largest clubs on campus. She also co-founded the Tucson Student Science Association, TSSA, an organization that connects students and clubs in Tucson to STEM competitions and events, fostering collaboration and innovation in the scientific community. Gauri plans to pursue a career in healthcare as a surgeon. Gauri, through your work with MedAspire and TSSA, you've been able to connect with and inspire students in the healthcare and medical science fields. What skills or approaches have you used that helped you to be so successful?
First of all, I want to take this opportunity to thank Junior Achievement for this incredible opportunity. I really appreciate being able to stand here today. So through MedAspire and the Tucson Student Science Association, the most important skill that I've leaned upon is empathy. I believe it's important to learn where gaps exist and meet students where they are. I founded MedAspire to bridge the gap in healthcare education access. Our free club provides hands-on medical opportunities, volunteer work, and research opportunities. In just a year, we've reached 5,000 people through our healthcare campaigns and have raised awareness for blood cancer in children and partnered with the National Marrow Donor Program. In TSSA, I focused on equity in STEM education. We've gathered students from 5 schools and 15 different science clubs, putting on competitions that inspire students and creating free research toolkits and Olympiad prep toolkits. At the core, my approach has always been to listen, to lead by compassion, and to create organizations that outlast me. Because closing disparities doesn't just start with brilliance, it starts with belief. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Gauri. I am so incredibly impressed. Our next honoree is Brad Wu. Brad's experience volunteering at a local senior center opened his eyes to many challenges older adults face and sparked a passion for using technology to help seniors lead better lives. He developed an exoskeleton robotic system for a school science fair to help patients with mobility or fine motor impairments, and founded a nonprofit called Gens Cura to raise awareness about strokes. Brad is also passionate about art and harnesses that creativity to advocate for seniors. His work highlighting seniors' struggle in an increasingly digital world was published in the New York Times. Brad is an avid history fan, coaches a middle school academic Pentathlon Club, founded the nonprofit Smart Agri to help implement sustainable technology in agriculture, and is heavily involved in Arizona's Kung Fu community. He plans to study mechanical or electrical engineering. Brad, you are very passionate about improving your community and helping the elderly. If you could only make one significant change in your community, what would it be and why?
The most significant change that I want to make is for everyone to encourage everyone to be more aware of the problems around your life, especially the problems that we don't see or haven't even imagined. Oftentimes, like, the most important problems we face are in plain sight, like the isolation that seniors feel in their lives or the daily barriers that people with disabilities face. Recognizing that these problems exist is the first step to making any meaningful change. I know we all have problems in our life. Every human being in this room has problems. I know because I'm a person and I have problems too, but really, that's the one thing I want to take away. To look around and to show that you can see what other people don't, and from that, we can change the world. And also, thanks to Junior Achievement of Arizona for allowing me to be here and giving me a place on the stage along with all these wonderful people. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Brad. You have very amazing accomplishments. Now, please welcome Daniel Yang. Daniel was disheartened that schools were closed during the pandemic and children couldn't take part in extracurricular activities or learning. He was a 7th grader when the world came to a halt, so he channeled his energy into action. He created iReach, a tutoring program that allowed older students to provide subject expertise to younger students. Daniel recruited high-achieving students to join as tutors and paired hundreds of students together for individual and group tutoring. iReach has provided over 5,000 tutoring hours to students of varying needs. The organization has grown to include community service events like an annual trash cleanup at the Desert Breeze Park to ensure the park remains a pleasant place for visitors. In his spare time, Daniel volunteers at Banner Baywood Hospital. He plans to pursue a degree in STEM or medicine. Daniel, what positive change in the community have you seen through the creation and implementation of iReach?
Thank you. So iReach was founded as a youth nonprofit organization back in 2021 for the purpose of supporting students who struggled academically during the pandemic. Through our free tutoring platform and summer programs, iReach was able to provide assistance to those who needed it, but also to ambitious students who wanted to take their education beyond the classroom. Throughout the past 4 years, iReach has also successfully partnered with the City of Chandler's Adopt a Park initiative to keep the Desert Breeze Park clean for its many park goers. And more recently, iReach formed a partnership with the Banner Baywood Medical Center to help provide cards and entertainment for hospital patients. iReach has constructed a broad service platform for its young members to give back to their community in meaningful ways and to pursue passion projects. I hope to continue growing the organization and in the process, uplifting even more aspiring youth leaders. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Daniel. We admire your innovation and passion. And finally, our last honoree tonight. Please welcome Elizabeth Young. Elizabeth was volunteering at Northwest Chinese Baptist Church when she connected with several Taiwanese immigrant families working with the Taiwanese semiconductor facility plant in Phoenix. When she learned some of the students were struggling to adapt, she launched her own private tutoring business, working with several students a week to hone on their English and academic skills. As a biracial student, Elizabeth says the experience has allowed her to connect with her own culture and traditions while also helping others. Her work empowering her peers doesn't stop there. Elizabeth started a nonprofit social media handle called In the Ship, designed to showcase scholarship, internship, and other extracurricular opportunities for high school students, particularly those identified as low income, first generation, or minorities. She is the captain of the speech and debate team, a state officer for Future Business Leaders of America, FBLA, and is working with Arizona Treasurer Kimberly Yee to set up educational CTE webinars for students. Elizabeth hopes to become a corporate lawyer at the international level and spend time working abroad in China. Elizabeth, what societal issues do you hope to address through the In the Ship?
Of course. So, while it might be surprising to most of you, considering that we have 17 amazing student leaders behind me, it is true that the U.S. News ranked Arizona, as of 2025, as 44th in education and 47th in pre-K to 12 education as well. So, through my nonprofit In the Ship, I hope to collaborate with college advisors in order to create more accessible information for our high school students, both geographically distant, whether it be in rural or urban communities, as well as other students who are underprivileged, to have this access to resources that would not be there in the first place. Through my nonprofit and my research during the process, I've noticed that there are many disparities that exist within the Arizona educational system, starting from geographic locations of schools. Urban communities tend to have a lot more resources than rural communities do as well, and there exists disparities within school districts as well. Within each individual school, there is also a cultural aspect, where some schools are more focused on academics and other schools are more focused on athletics. So from here, in an increasingly globalized world where social media is one of the primary ways of connecting people together, I hope to use my organization to introduce these opportunities, whether it be internships and scholarships for students, to help them find their own passions and also to help them find their own dream careers through the opportunities presented to them.
Thank you, Elizabeth. What a remarkable way to end the evening. Once again, we want to recognize our very generous scholarship donors and sponsors, without whom this event would not be possible. Thank you again to all of our attendees, both here in the room and those supporting from afar. And most importantly, thank you to all of these amazing students. They are surely the best and the brightest across Arizona, and we can't wait to see what they'll continue to do with their lives. Thanks again, everyone, and have a wonderful evening.